But hello, it is us. Apologies, you're going to hear louder sounds of water because Laura does not like it when it's mildly warm.
Yeah, well...
Most of you folks in, like, the centre of the US are probably...
They call me, you can't deal with shit. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. How many degrees is it?
Meanwhile, I'm still
26?
managing to maintain a very slight tan.
26 degrees, it says on here.
The Americans are going to think it's very cold.
Yeah.
We're on about
I don't,
Celsius.
because...
For you guys in Fahrenheit, probably means 0. No.
No, it
quite
would
the
be
opposite,
more.
like 70 maybe? I don't know how it works over there.
You add, like, 13 or something. Do you add 13?
I imagine you wouldn't add 13.
Or is it, like... I don't know, let's Google.
13
Let's
sounds
Google.
like a bit of a stretch. Good shout.
I'm just going to straight up Google 26 degrees C in Fahrenheit.
Yeah, good shout. And we'll tell the other viewers.
Here we are. 78.8 degrees Fahrenheit.
I said 70. I was
you
around the mark.
You were 8 degrees off.
Well, you
Get
were
better.
You were 40.
Very far off.
Like 50 something off. We have a lot of people submitted stuff for today.
They pulled their fucking weight this time.
Yeah, we got questions spammed
shit
over the
ton.
last week.
Thank you, Discord.
Yeah, last time we were having to really stretch out those topics, but this time we probably won't have to since we have quite a few and people joining in on conversations and shiz.
But we don't want to cram them all into, like, one.
Yeah, we do. I'm doing all of them now. 3-hour-long podcast episode. I don't think these will last an hour, personally. But we have plenty. If you would like to submit your own, either comment them down below or join our Discord, which is also in the description, which usually tends to be also down below.
Yes.
Everything that you ever need on YouTube is down below.
Yes.
Um,
Thank God for copy and paste. Saves me from typing it out all the time.
Imagine if computers still didn't have copy and paste to this day.
I think I would have quit by now.
I could deal with it.
No, I would have quit by now. I'd have been like, I have to type out the Discord, join, again. I have to get a new code each time. It's like, oh, jeez.
What Discord join?
The join a server. Because I copy and paste it, you can use the same one. But...
What do you mean join a server?
What?
Are you on about putting it in the description?
Yeah.
Right, that makes more sense. I didn't know what you were on about.
Fair enough.
Imagine having to type out that description every time.
That's why I said I would quit.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't blame you, to be fair. I don't have to type for this at all, really. So I'm good. I'm not the tech guy. I'm just here to look epic and say funny.
And I do absolutely everything else.
Haha. I occasionally do the odd thing for you, but it's mostly
Yes.
you. I say we should get right into it with
Okay.
one of our questions from Mr. Server Booster Jono. He's single-handedly making sure that we can have our icon be the gif of me screaming at a spider.
No, I said the wrong word there. Actually is what I meant. And
There's-
he's not the only one.
We're on 3 now, yeah.
3?
Yeah.
Oh, I
As
thought
in
there was only
3
2.
total. Because Jono does 2.
Oh, yeah, Echomaster did 1 then.
Yeah.
Cool.
It is what's the worst ways a player character could die in D&D. Now, we know that I probably have the worst one
Yeah.
out of all of them.
Because that was, as soon as I read it, that was the first one I thought of.
Yeah, I had one of my favourite characters ever, Bill. He was quite morally bad. He was on a very selfish, cutthroat quest to become a vampire because he feared death.
I thought you said Lich.
No. Liches
have
need to be like
sworn.
wizards.
Could have sworn you said Lich.
Vampire. Because I like vampires. We know this.
I'm sticking with my original thought that you said Lich.
I think other characters have probably... I've never had a character want to be a lich. But this character called Xander, his entire objective was to live forever.
B.
I'm fine with all bugs except spiders.
It came too close to me.
and we were in like
Too close to my juice.
our first dungeon or something that we'd begun exploring, and our party had split themselves up because our wizard got very ambitious and like misty stepped over lava to get to someone else, and everyone else could get over there fine. Our artificer had a spell slot left for levitate, so he could just float on over. Our paladin had like 18 strength or something, so he could just jump over, but I had 10, and I couldn't really find a logical way to get over, so I just risked a jump, and it didn't go well. We could have done it other ways as well, but we didn't know if we'd be splitting the party or not, and wanted to stay safe and be together. But yeah, that was all everyone's fault. All of the players had just stuck to this this one objective, which was we need to get over to the other side, because half of us are already there. And then it just became a massive clusterfuck. Main thing is we didn't want to split the party, because I imagine our DM hadn't planned for that. So we really did try to get over the lava. And lava tends to do a lot of damage. In my games, it does 20d10, because it's fucking lava. So maybe a 20th level character could survive a round in there, you know? But no one level 10 or under should be able to, like, logically, unless they've really min-maxed a buttload of hit points or something. What about you? What's a really bad way a player character could die? What are some other really scummy things? A lot of the ones that come to mind are like traps and like pitfalls and
I was
like
gonna say falling off a cliff or some shit like that.
things that you basically had no control over and just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Because like there were some pretty bad traps in that like
I
Beholder
imagine
dungeon.
being poisoned would be not as cool. Oh, actually no, never mind. Let me take that back. Being poisoned is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Probably something really like mundane and boring. Like, I don't know, you accidentally stabbed yourself on something.
Luckily, I don't make that happen on natural ones.
Yeah.
I know people who do. I've been punishing on like several really bad rolls in a row, but that's the only time when I ever do shit like that, shenanigans like, oh, you dropped your weapon, or oh, you stab yourself, because they rolled like 3 in a row. But yeah, that would be funny as hell. I think another really like annoyingly bad way to die is thinking you're fine in like a fight or something. You're like the wizard or something that's at the back while everyone else is doing a decent fight at the front, and then suddenly 50 goblins just come out from the back and you're at the back. And it's like, well, I had no control over this. I thought I was safe. I was not, and now I am dead because I am a wizard. So yeah, that sounds like a pretty awful way to die as well. You've only really had one proper character death, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're good at keeping characters alive, I've noticed.
Yeah, well, as soon as shit goes wrong, I'm like, nah, fuck that. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you're the first to run.
Yeah.
I am in one game, I'm not in the other, because roleplay and shit. But yeah, Patch is the only one to have technically died.
I don't count that as true.
Says. It was to a random encounter, I don't blame you. That's another bad way to go. A random encounter, because it's not like important. You didn't feel like there were too many stakes other than your life. It was just kind of survival, and it didn't go well. In comparison to going, like, if you died to Jarl Axel, that would have been so much cooler.
Yeah, I would have accepted it then.
Yeah, because it's like cooler for the story. And then if you'd killed him, it would have been even cooler.
Yes.
But that's very, very difficult. He's like
Yes.
CR13 or something. Yeah, so that's our answer to the first one. And from same person, if you had to choose, what would your alignment be in real life?
Well, I don't think I would choose it.
Or what do you think it would be?
Something along the good scale.
I would think myself neutral.
Why?
Because I don't think I'm good. Most things I do are for myself.
Fairs?
Straight up.
I just meant it as in like, I don't do any bad shit.
Yeah. Are you out questing to destroy dragons? If there was a
No.
dragon and you had the power to stop it, would you?
No. off.
It's fine, just ignore it.
No, I'm not on a quest for a dragon. Because that is not important.
If they were like destroying the world.
I'd
And
be
you
like,
could do something about it, or at least try to.
I'd probably be too scared.
I wouldn't. Not even because I was too scared, but purely because that's too much responsibility.
Fair. Moo Moo left.
Everyone likes to think they're good, but in reality, they're all just serving themselves. Sorry, table.
You sent the waveform very high.
That's what it looks like.
You did it again, but bigger.
Let's try and draw the dick again.
No!
People aren't going to have any idea what I'm on about with that. I'm going to let that sit. But yeah, no. Any particular alignment that you think you'd stick to then?
No idea.
It's difficult because you can't categorise people, since they're very complicated. The way that D&D presents it is that an alignment is much more of a guideline, a way to somewhat classify your character so that you can then build from that. But we're already extremely well-built people. I've been alive for 17 years. You know? I don't think you can condense that down into an alignment, which is why I think most people would just be neutral. It's the easiest. Maybe lawful neutral if they don't want to be bad. I'd probably say lawful neutral then for me. I'll stick to the rules and shit. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I ain't about to go on a holy crusade anytime soon to save the world. Nah. If the world's ending, I'm finding a bunker and just sitting in there and waiting. Okay.
Well, I mean, if we take it from the stance of how are we treating global warming and shit.
Well, if we're talking about how we're handling it, then you're chaotic good.
Well,
You're very environmentalist.
That's just my ideals. I'm not at the moment because I physically cannot be.
Well, your ideals say that you're environmentalist, but the question is why?
Yeah, well, the question is why? Well, I don't want to fucking burn to death because it's fucking 27 degrees.
See, there you go. Even though you are doing something good for not only yourself and other people, it's for yourself.
It's not primarily for myself. I mean, I won't die when it all burns to shit. We all go into a black hole and inevitably no longer exist.
Sorry. I've read philosophy. I can't.
No, because if I don't do anything to help it, then the world's gonna go to shit. And I don't really want to contribute to that, because...
So it's for your own peace of mind more than anything?
No! It's fucking psychotherapy bullshit on me.
I can tell you right now, we're all very selfish people.
It's not for me. I mean, yes, but no.
Everything's always for yourself first. Some people do genuinely do things for the better of other people, however. But there's always something selfish within that. Because we're animals. We are selfish.
A wooga booga.
You hear that, guys? A wooga booga. You're so wise. I'm fascinated. Okay. Most memorable characters and why, either that you've played personally or that you've been in games with. This can include NPCs as well.
What's his friggin' name?
You forgot it.
Shit, what's his friggin' name?
The guard.
Yes!
I'll let you.
Jeremiah!
Hey,
that was his goddamn
there
name.
You go.
I love that dude. He was amazing.
Normally my improv names start with J, because mine in fact also starts with J.
So you are thinking about yourself. Have your psycho blabble back at you.
I admitted to it.
Yeah.
Why was Jeremiah so cool?
Because he had a cool accent.
He was Owen Wilson, but a bit deeper.
Yeah. He was cool.
Yes. Hi.
Yeah. That is Owen Wilson, but a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Why else was he cool?
Well, part of it is because he had a level of charm, since I'd literally made him up on the spot, I'd imagine. in comparison to having a much more thought out personality, I literally just thought like a really nice, kind, but
He
not
wasn't
so.
a dickhead immediately, so I think we all were just like, wow, we
Yeah,
love this guy.
You guys had been dealing with a lot of guards because it's Dragon Heist, and then this
Yeah.
one nice guard walks in like, hey guys, sorry to bother you, there's things going on, we just need to do a routine check if that's alright
I
with
think
you.
we all fell in love with Jeremiah at that point.
I'd also described him as not exactly a charming looking bloke,
yeah.
at least to modern stereotypes in terms of he had a lot of acne, he had a cleft lip and stuff, which
Well,
aren't things that
that's-
make people bad looking,
Yeah.
but I did just kind of narrate him as a pretty bad looking person, but he was very nice, which is a nice combo.
Well, that's why we love Jeremiah. He was beautiful in every sense.
Yeah, and he had
Loved
couldn't find himself a
Jeremiah.
partner, so just adopted some kids.
Yeah. One of the kids was fucking weird. And
Patch
the
got
other
a crush
one,
on the other one.
Yeah.
What was it, like some barely teenaged half-orc girl?
Half-orc girl. Yeah. Patch thought she was a badass, so he was like, I like you. In a bit more way than I like other people.
She was literally just like a moody teen who like you had to really
I mean-
appeal to.
Patch was 11, so he was like, you're fucking cool. I like
I think
you.
the way that you appealed to her was like talking about all the people you've beat up and stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, you want to see a backflip?
And she was like, fine, whatever. And then you did it and she was like,
Yeah.
okay.
He was
And-
like, voila!
But you got roped in with like the 9-year-old instead and you were
Yeah, and
hating
I was
it.
like, oh.
You were trying to teach him how to hit things, but...
Yeah, because I had those backflip sweets that you gave me. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm not fucking this up. So I took a backflip sweet to make sure I definitely did it. And then did a backflip.
I had some like Willy Wonka freaking store-esque place in a town that you guys visited, and you there were like jars of backflip sweets where if you ate one you did a perfect and uncanny backflip immediately.
Yeah. Obviously, I bought some.
Yeah.
And then I think I gave it to some other people as well. I think I
Benmus
gave
had a
Benmus
few.
one. Yeah. Benmus was another good character. Mainly because he was, like Patch's dad, pretty much. But not, like,
A
adopted
really
dad.
bad influence on him.
Yeah. But I think that's what made it better. Let's be honest. He let Patch chop off ears. He
Let
let
him
Patch
drink very much.
beer.
I love the flavour
Pretty
behind
much.
that because you became like a drunken master,
Yeah.
and
Pretty
you were
much
just
let Patch do anything.
yeah, pretty much. I think he like tried to tell you off, and then he didn't really care. Like a moment afterwards,
Yeah.
like he felt like he should probably maybe rein you in, but he's so fun. How can I not? I think everyone from that game is just really cool
Yeah.
because no one had really died.
Everyone made iconic characters as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Rob's character Valdor, fucking... What an
Valdor's still
iconic
around to
character,
this day.
I know.
He's continuing in a new game, which is cool.
Literally just said, like, you know what? Fuck you, die. And then he went to the pits and beat people up. Like, what a cool character.
Valdor's just everything anyone wants to be.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what's a good media comparison. Frickin', I don't know, the Punisher from Marvel. Just kills
Yeah.
anyone that he wants.
I was gonna say The Rock or Dave Bautista. But then I was like,
What,
oh,
Dwayne Johnson and Dave Bautista come to mind? Like the
Yeah.
people in real life.
Yeah, because I was like, well, they're big and strong.
I don't think
And-
Dwayne Johnson would murder a child. I may be wrong, I don't know.
And then he just goes up to the parents, what can I say? Except you're welcome.
Fuck off. I cannot imagine Valdor singing at all.
No, I meant fucking The Rock.
Dave Bautista, no, as well. They just star in a lot of action films.
Yeah, but they're big and strong men, and that's what I attributed Valdor.
Yeah, I mean, he's 9 foot. His subclass will actually make him even taller at 6th level,
Oh,
I think.
Jesus.
He's a rune knight, which are like, you use giant runes and shit, and you grow as you level up in the subclass. So from 8 foot
Valdor's
11
gonna be
to...
fucking massive.
He's gonna be as big as like Thanos, just straight up, and the Hulk and stuff
Yeah.
by the end of the game. But yeah, Valdor's cool. Your favourite character's Patch, and I don't know if that's going to change anytime soon, right?
Yeah. I have a fond place in my heart for Patch.
You can always replay him at any time if you want.
Yeah, but then I think it would taint it.
How do you mean?
Well, if it's not Patch, Benmus, Valdor, Rem, and everybody else, because I can't remember all of the names, I think... What was Astria's character called? Gaius! Yeah. If it wasn't all of that, it would just taint my view. I would just be like, well, I'm just dragging Patch from the depths of despair. Of his glory days.
It's entirely possible for the entire gang to go back. Valdor has a really interesting story thing. He was like the protagonist in his own story. Valdor was full on. Where when he died, his soul got like split up in all sorts of places because he was part of some weird time magic shit.
Valdor is Voldemort? Question mark.
His Horcruxes are just different versions of himself. But no, there's like versions of him all over the place now since it got split up in like a million pieces and shit, and the one in Eberron's one of them. And there's one in the same world that Patch is in, but on a different continent. That was from the one shot that you played.
Yeah, because I got really confused. I was like, I swear to God, why is Valdor here?
Yeah, but I mean, it made sense.
Yeah.
For me, most memorable characters in terms of my own NPCs that I've run, there haven't been that many in games that I've played in that have particularly stood out to me, but the ones that I've ran are always the surprise ones, so the reoccurring villain of Cole.
Yes.
Where I just played some evil old man who progressively turned into some just really depressed cinnamon addict farmer. It was like the only thing in Savinia that there was a buttload of. You had to get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically they turned a bad guy into a good guy, where in reality he was still very much evil. He just gave up.
He chopped his arm off as well.
Yeah, well that was because he had like a crystal controlling him or something on his hand.
Yeah.
And the only real way to do that, you tried to like destroy it first and it didn't work, so you're like, well, it's coming off.
Yeah.
There was also the ogre, the Wizard Ogre.
Yeah, I didn't remember him.
That's Ryan's favourite. He wants to be him. I've given him permission to play him. As like a Goliath variant sort of thing. I had a ogre, the NPC that I'd made that had like found a helm of intellect and accidentally attuned to it because he started throwing it and nothing happened, so he was like, I'm just going to hold on to it and try and break it, and just did that for like an hour, and then he attuned to it and was like, shit. And then the first thing he decided to do was join an adventurers guild, and then he promptly took over it about 2 years later. Don't tell anyone, but he kind of brutally murdered the last guy because he thought, I'm better than him and he's not leaving, so I'm just going to do this for the sake of everyone. And since he's smart, managed to hide it. You were in a combat with him once, and as an archmage, he just whacked things with a great club.
Yeah, I do remember that.
That was the only real thing he did, because he is still an ogre. But yeah, that's probably my favourite NPC I've ever done, personally. There have been some other cool ones. The Plank King was badass.
Meh. I didn't really think he was badass.
Well, he was just a bit mentally deranged.
Yeah, that's more on the lines of what I was thinking, I think.
He could basically not die, though.
I did think the art that you used looked cool, though.
Mm-hmm. That's like official art from the wiki about him.
Ah.
Because he's an NPC that Matt Mercer had played. So obviously people went wild about it, as they do for every single one that he's played. But yeah, and I guess player characters that I've played or seen. The one who's made a mark on me most, and like, is probably, oh god, there's a lot. We alternate between a lot of games in our group. I mean, for me personally, my favourite is Orson and always will be. He's my boy.
For reference, in case that made no sense, he said Orson. 'Cause you said it so quick and was and I was like, huh?
But yeah, he's my boy that's managed to... I've only ever had 2 characters outlive my curse, which is I join a campaign and then my first character dies very soon and the second one I bring in lives a while. But they're the only 2 to have ever broke it, and Orson's been around in my life for maybe 9 months now, and he's still alive and not well. So yeah. Okay. What should a D&D movie be like? So,
is there any real kind of D&D movie that could be done, because it's so vastly different from one game to another?
I imagine if they were to do one, there might be one in production. I don't know. People have been talking about, we want a D&D movie for ages. It might be happening. There are plenty of book series and stuff like that are written in the Forgotten Realms, which is one of the primary settings. I forgot what it's called, but it's wrote by some guy called R.A. Salvatore. He's pretty good from what I've heard. Joel Axel's in it, apparently. And people have been saying, like, oh, you got to read some of the books to understand who he is. And I'm like, Dragon Heist tells me enough. I'll read 2 paragraphs of him, thank you very much. But it's entirely possible that it could be like a story within that Forgotten Realms setting again. There's plenty of ways. Wow, thank you, Pokemon Go. There's plenty of ways that it could be done, though. They could do it that way, but what I'd like to see is an interpretation of a D&D session in a film.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. That was the line I was just thinking about. Because if it was our game, for example, it would literally just be one person talking and then everyone else would be silent.
The Avengers, but only Captain America is able to speak.
Yeah. That would be pretty much the entire game. It would more likely be the Avengers, but Captain America and Iron Man are the only ones who speak, because in our game, Ryan and James are really the only ones to speak. I mean, Rob does too, but Ryan and James are the biggest talkers in our game.
So it's Iron Man and Captain America talking all the time, with Thor with occasional interjections.
Yes.
And then you've got Clint and Natasha just in the back, just waiting and just watching.
Yeah, that would be it. Then there'd also be occasional things where like they'd be talking and then there'd just be random sounds, and then it would be like James's flatmates.
Just out from like Iron Man's mouth is just suddenly the sounds of doors shutting and like people shouting, and everyone's like, what is that? And it's like, oh, it's my suit.
Yeah.
Shit and like that. Oh, camera's off.
Oh. And then it would also be like, I'll shut up a sec because I'm turning this on. And then I think it would also be, because you know how some people will have to mute themselves when they're in the middle of the talk and say, hold on.
In the middle of a fight, one of the players is just like, hey, wait.
Yeah. They'll just pull a me and zone out in the middle of the fight.
Hell yeah. But yeah, it could be that. It could be filled with all sorts of shenanigans, with like kind of like a Jumanji sort of deal.
That would be kind of cool.
But like in a way that's
not Jumanji.
In a way that's not Jumanji, correct. I mean, it could be Jumanji. It could just be straight up Jumanji. But where like you're also seeing it from the perspective of like the players and shit, but not by them constantly going back and forth from like the actual scenes to the players rolling and shit, where there's just like very obvious nods to what's happening. So one of the players is like, I'm gonna just kick down the door, and then ow, that sort of shit.
There should also be outsider character talking in there as well. So like you just
where
have
they'd
the
stop doing their voices and just start like talking to each other and shouting.
No, I think what it should be is the characters just stop talking, but then nobody's doing any sort of voices, and then just like a god from the sky, you just hear like, right, so shall this character kill this person? And they're all like, the fuck?
In my games, if you're talking about plans and stuff and there's like an NPC there, the NPC will interject in character sometimes. I think I've done that to you guys before as well.
Yeah.
Because how else are you getting this information across?
Yeah.
So I like to remind players that they are present in a game, in a world or something, and that if they have an NPC there, they're going to want to not be snooped on. So yeah, that could be a thing where they all start just nattering at each other. The fight scenes should be just 25 to 40 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the entire rest of the film is like them just walking through hallways and chucking like torches and being dumb, and the moment they stop checking for traps, they open the trap door
And get blasted.
Yeah, like when for some reason you guys didn't pick up on the hint that the 10th room you should not go into, and you guys really tried to get into that locked 10th room.
Yeah.
The death room where most people that walked in instantly died.
Yeah. Who was it that could walk in there, though? That's where someone did walk in.
Yeah, Agrok did. And he had to make a con save, and he succeeded, but he didn't trust it, so left.
Yeah.
That would have done a few things. It would have aged you like fuck, worse than the ghost did to Agrok. And it would have done enough necrotic damage to probably knock anyone to 0. And if it knocks you to 0, you just shrivel up. I wanted to really emphasize that is a room you do not want to go into.
Saggy ball of flesh.
And people just took it as a challenge.
Agrok was like, fuck that shit, I'm going in.
James has decided now he's going to stop playing smart people, or people that require effort. His new character coming in is cool. It's just like some dude who will augment his body however he wants to just get more power and shit. Which is his motivation for being with the party. They're going to protect me while I get more cool stuff on my arms and my legs.
Is this that reporter dude?
No. He's ditching that because he got
Oh.
arrested for
Fair.
doing some dumb shit that he was not proud of at all. And the
Fair.
whole setup for the adventure that I've got going on really doesn't suit him either. Like, he wouldn't do it.
Fair enough.
He'd rather just spend the time in jail. But yeah. That'd be cool. Let's see other things. Alright. Yeah, one guy dies and is immediately replaced by the same actor as a different character.
Yeah.
I saw that one and I was like, that's great. Probably me. Yeah, probably me. So, what about some on-the-fly, fast-paced homebrew? This is probably the one that you're dreading.
Yeah. Not good at this.
Let's make up a little one-session story. Little one-session adventure.
Ask me to physically make something instead. It's easier.
You make the map.
Lovely.
No, so... we're going to do a thing. This is how I come up with adventures. I'm going to guide you through this a little bit. Because it's much easier than you think. Let me see if it's downloaded. It hasn't. Let me just go into...
Here's some homebrew flying fishmobile.
a flying fishmobile. To be
I
fair...
just saw a fish on that pump thing, and then I thought, well, we're playing in Eberron, and then they have the blimps. So then I thought, well, fish blimps, you could use them to get around. So,
It's just massive
voila,
flying fish.
on the fly fish blimp. That's my homebrew.
What's
That's
the
me
question
done.
that... I'm thinking that this flying fish blimp is like an anomaly and no one knows what the fuck is up. It just came from the Mournland.
It also reminds me of that Doctor Who Christmas episode where there was all those flying fish and everyone was like, huh? It was in like a different version of the world, I think.
Ah, yes, of course. I understand this. So, I'm looking through magic items here because I don't have the monster manual open, and we're just going to look for something that sparks it. Let's see here. There's some cool stuff in here. I'm looking through Tasha's at the moment because it has all of these like cool spell books and shit in it, and like all of these weird things. I'm thinking that like someone's nicked one of these items, and there's like some group that really wants it back or something, and they ask the adventurers to do it, and they're like, yeah, let's do that. Some of these are crazy. There's like a artifact in here that's just a set of dragon teeth
Ah.
that are very, 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 very good. What about this thing?
The fuck is that?
That is the mighty
It looks
servant
like
of
it
Luco.
would turn into one of those, like... Is it Bakugan balls?
I see it, yes. Bakugan.
Send me that picture, I'll shove it on when I edit.
Yeah, I will. But this thing looks awesome. I want to make an adventure about it. It's a magic item. It's an artifact. It is a big mech suit for D&D.
No, I don't trust that name. It's Bakugan ball.
Bakugan ball, got it.
Yes, that's its new name.
Can't roll up into a ball though, Laura, so that's where
No,
your plan kind of falls apart.
It's Bakugan ball. I accept no criticisms.
Well, it doesn't open if you put it on a magnet
No
card.
criticisms.
I will continue to criticize you.
No.
Because I want to.
I'm not accepting your criticisms.
So,
of the
this
Bakugan
thing,
ball.
this mighty servant, could have been in like some sort of museum, very well protected, and some teleporting folks just teleported in, controlled it, and like just ran back out with it, because it can have like up to 2 people in it. And like it's a controllable mech suit. It has a stat block. Let's find it. It has 310 hit points and 22 AC. It has 30 strength, so it could just bust out of anything. And it looks like it's pretty much just... Oh, it can do a crushing leap, where it just jumps on everyone and they need to make dex saves or just get fucking crushed. That makes sense. Maybe they've stolen it and they're on an absolute rampage, just through everywhere, because they're chaotic as hell. And you basically have to find a way to take this thing down a multitude of ways. So like it's just in the middle of the street and you could do any number of things. You could frickin' like ask the train to ram into it. What are you looking for?
I hear people.
I also hear people. I don't think the audience hears the people though. I would hope not. If you guys can hear the people, let us know in the comments and we'll act on it very quickly right now. Guys, comment right
Not
now
literally.
if you can hear them. Comment right now and we'll edit it out right now. Okay?
That is not possible.
If this was live streamed.
If this was live streamed, I would not be able to do anything about it either.
Yeah,
Other
you
than mute.
would. Also murder.
Yes, that's what I
I
signified with the
encourage
hand.
murder. For
Hand
legal
signals.
reasons, that's a joke.
Yes.
I feel like someone could like sue us for
Yes. We are joking for legal reasons.
that. But this machine here can do a bunch of things. It has a bunch of like passive effects and stuff and like ways to control it. But the main thing is that it's a big old mech suit that someone could try and fight. And it's immune to a lot of shit. And it's resistant. Oh my god, wait a minute. Even magic damage don't do shit to this. Damage resistances are piercing and slashing. Magic doesn't change that. And immunities are acid, bludgeoning, cold, fire, lightning, necrotic, poison, psychic, radiant. How do you destroy this thing?
You don't.
What damage type? What damage type? Force. Force is the only damage type that can hurt this thing. Properly. You could pierce it and slash it for half, but the only way to actually properly damage it is force. It's even immune to radiant. What the fuck's immune to radiant?
That.
Yeah,
Really?
and maybe some celestials? That's about it. This is mental. I'm using this.
No.
I'm using it.
Not fair.
James is a warlock, it's fine. That's crazy. Like, even magic weapons do nothing to this. So, I imagine you could put this in front of, like, a level 9-10 party that's going to have an extremely big struggle with this thing. And it'll be less of a thing of destroying it and more finding a way to just stop it so that the people inside can then be killed. Or, like, apprehended or something. So that could kind of help the party think in a more constructive way about how to take it, because if the like museum people say there is no way to destroy this thing, we have tried everything, it could be a really big incentive for them to, instead of trying to kill it, which they'll try and do anyway because they're adventurers, and when they fail, there's plenty of ways that they could do it. They could do like a wall of force and trap it in there, because that's something that it ain't getting out of. They could try and just like absolutely corner it and then just like drop an entire building on them. And there's plenty of ways that they could go about it. How do you think you'd go about trying to at least stop this thing?
I would leave.
You would say no, quest denied.
Yes. This thing you can't destroy. No, not for me, thank you.
There's a self-destruct thing that does some of the biggest damage that I've ever seen. It does a total of 75d6 damage.
Jesus.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense as something this powerful. It's really magic as well, so if you do self-destruct it, over the course of maybe a few months, it gradually just, like, parts of it drop from the sky and it's very slowly rebuilt itself. So I think this would be a quite high-level quest. There's some other ways they could do it as well. Try and lure the people controlling it to, like, the end of a ravine and just do, like, a good old with, like, the typical bull method and just watch them charge off.
Yeah, or Sparta kick them. Yeah.
Just try and push the 30 strength huge construct. Baldor could.
Yeah.
He can go large as a bonus action, so
Yeah.
he would be able to try and shove it off. So yeah, I think this would be a cool quest as like a one session sort of thing, or even a half a session sort of thing. If you have like an intense story moment going on in your adventure, maybe just use this thing if it's a high level adventure, because it has a destructive fist. And it does 4d12 plus 10 force damage.
Ouch.
Yeah. So don't use this thing on a low-level party at all, but if you want a high-level party challenge that makes them think without just hitting it with their weapons and spells, I mean, spells would probably still work on this thing, unless one of the people in there just has counterspell. And the thing with it as well, that's pretty cool, you could actually have a counterspeller in there, because I think the way it works is that inside it kind of, you can see into the outside, but from the outside you can't see what's within. So people can counterspell you and you can't do anything about it.
Was it you I was talking about constantly stacking counter spells, like Uno reverse?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
I feel like it was Christopher.
That actually happened on the Thursday. Because they were fighting a Serac. He casted Chain Lightning, which someone counterspelled. He counterspelled theirs, and then his got counterspelled. Because there were 3 different counterspellers on the board.
Yeah, I think it was Christopher, because I was telling him my plan for the kill everyone, and then my plan went to shit.
For the kill everyone. Oh, for the one shot.
Yeah.
Where you were a bad guy that was
Yeah.
pretending to be a good guy, which is what, Draugatha?
No, the one we did the other day.
Oh right, the yeah. No one else had it, I don't think, either way. So
Yeah.
you were good.
But I was, and then, yeah, because I said to Christopher, I said I was going to counterspell any spells that happened to me, but I don't think that will happen. And then it did, thanks, Rob. Ruined my goddamn plan, you did.
For even more invisibility.
I know, I could have stayed invisible so much longer and just
I would
lived
have
everyone
loved
out.
that.
Yeah, you hated that.
It was. I was
don't
fine with
care.
it. I was fine doing it.
I don't care because
it made
James
sense.
was invisible too, so I was like, this is fine.
You guys kept bumping into each other and ignoring
yeah,
each
we were
other.
like, no, bye.
A warlock on warlock fight would end very quickly.
Yeah.
I think he still had a spell slot left by then, so he could have just frickin' nuked you right there and there. But yeah, no, that thing could be quite cool to use, and I think I will at a high level for a party at some point to kind of kickstart a side quest, if you will.
Dimension Door. I will get Dimension Door by then, yes.
I mean, I'm not putting this against you at level 6,
Okay, good.
so yeah,
Good.
you could just Dimension Door in
That
there.
is my favourite spell.
Just Dimension Door in there and like 2v1 the 2 guys piloting it or
No,
something.
I'm too self-absorbed for that. Dimension Door away.
What if I put a counterspeller in there?
I would literally murder you. That for legal reasons, that is a joke.
I mean, you know where I live.
Yes.
Now the question is...
Yes. I will
have
steal
to do
Dobby
it.
from you.
Okay. I'll just come and steal your cat back, and we'll
No.
just be left at a standstill.
No. You will not steal Pickle
The
from
moment
me.
you leave the house, we'll do like an awkward crossover on the
When
street.
do I leave the house? For real, when do I leave the house?
Last Monday?
Yeah, to go to your house. When else do I leave the house?
Right now?
We're still on the property.
I mean, yeah.
I don't leave the house very much.
Good luck finding me then. Okay. I think that could be everything. So we've made a
We
little
have
quest
another
there.
12 minutes to fill.
We don't have to have a length.
Okay.
We don't have to have a set length.
Okay.
It needs to be an hour, or
I
it's not a
just
real
schedule
podcast
it
episode.
in my head that we talk for an hour and it's 48 minutes.
Well, that leaves more talking for me to do a video later.
Yeah, I suppose so.
You and your routine systems. What you need to happen. Then there's me just cancelling series left and right because they're boring now.
Yes, and I'm like, ah! My plans!
Your plans can suck it.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you tell us that you enjoyed it by telling us that you enjoyed it in the comments and or in the Discord. Come in to the Discord and make sure that you say, "Hey Jake, you fucker. Good video, epic. Hey Laura, you fucker. Good video, epic." Make sure that you say that to us in those exact words. If you don't, you're not a real fan.
Don't tag me though, because then I might be like, what the fuck?
Tag her.
No,
Put
please
at
don't.
Laura there as well.
Please don't.
So that she sees
For
it.
my sanity and that I don't have a heart attack when I read a message.
What, do you think someone's going to be messaging like, "Hey
Yeah.
Laura, the channel
Is shit.
is shit"?
Die.
D-
And then I'll be like,
Maybe not that last bit at the end of there.
wow.
If they do say that, then I think that would
Ban.
be easier to handle.
Ban.
Yeah, to be fair.
Because you can do that. I've done it to somebody.
You have?
Yes.
Who? When?
Somebody that you said to me to ban.
I don't remember this. Oh, on the YouTube.
Yeah, not Discord.
Well, I was on about Discord.
Oh.
I said, message us in the Discord. Our Discord is wholesome as heck. How dare you?
Well, maybe it's not. We do talk about a lot of death.
What, in the Discord?
Probably, I don't know. I don't read it very often.
I was about to say, we don't really talk about
I mean,
death so much. That's not a topic that we tend to cover.
I don't know. I don't read it very often because it's all D&D shit. I'm like, okay, cool.
I mean, if you read it, you could, like, learn more if you really wanted.
That requires effort.
I mean, to be fair, people were learning out about, frickin', what's its name? Foundry. The one of the Roll20s.
I think I looked and I was like, not interested.
I don't like Foundry at all. It seems far too complicated for players and the DM. Roll20 makes it so much simpler and easier. You don't need all those fancy tools to play the game. Roll20 is more than enough for me. But yeah, again, if you liked it, make sure you like the video
Is
and
that the
subscribe.
one that's 3D?
No.
What's the one that's 3D?
Tabletop Simulator. I have that. I could not get it to work for the life of me.
No, the VR headset where you see you as players.
That's like a Kickstarter thing, I think. That's not out yet.
No, I swear it must be because I watched a video of somebody that used it and I thought, what the fuck?
Maybe they got a
No,
beta test
it
version.
wasn't. It wasn't because you said you've used it before.
Me?
Yeah. You said, I've used this, I don't like it.
What, the VR thing?
Yeah, it looks like a VR thing. But you don't have to use it as VR. Someone commented saying something, and I looked on their channel and they were using it, and I was like, what is this software?
Oh, right, you don't mean me.
No.
Then why did you say you?
Did I?
Yeah, you said it as if it were me.
Oh.
I'm like, no.
But I swear you said you've used something like that before.
I have a 3D tabletop program thing. Not VR.
Well, it might be. I don't know.
That also sounds too complicated. It
Yeah.
would be a gimmick, cool thing for a few sessions, but then you'd be like, yeah, but can we just play normally now?
Yes, there's too much 3D in my D&D game.
It's in fact only got 2Ds in it, so I would like to stay with my 2D D&D.
Instead of the 3D and D.
T and D&D, however, that I'm okay with. Thank you guys for watching. See ya.
That was kind of a bit rambly.
Who cares? It's a podcast. Are people just going to complain?
Yes. I will complain because I have to edit it all.
Well, shut up.
That is Laura abuse. I will not take that.